Hello, everyone. My name is Swamp. Man, the nostalgia. The nostalgia. I actually had a song picked, for the needle drop, but then inspiration struck. I don't know why. I decided it had to be the old PlayStation 2 opening. All right, everybody. Happy Friday. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you haven't noticed yet, new merch, Christmas merch, and what I think is probably my favorite piece of merch I've ever put out, the Meme Wars 2 Jan 6 Boogaloo movie poster. You better believe I'm going to have one of these framed in every single room of my house. Good stuff, good stuff. Of course, the mugs. Same ones from last year. I just love these. I actually use this a lot. So, if you want to help support the channel and you want something cool in return, you can always check that out. Of course, Super Chats will activate the Super Chat jukebox. And if all else fails, you don't want merch, you don't or can't send Super Chats, you can always donate to the PayPal. Same difference. The money goes to the same place, to me. Well, a percentage of it goes to me. That's the world we live in, unfortunately. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while since I've started the show off correctly. So today we're going to do that, which is... And what I mean by that is we're going to check out Trump history. So here we have Donald Trump leads a wagon train of nearly 1,000 people safely along the Oregon Trail. Shockingly, there were no deaths on the way. Historians note that this is solely due to the strong leadership and guidance from Donald Trump. 1843, colorized. It's majestic. This is what true leadership looks like. And why historians and the media constantly erase Donald Trump's contributions to American history is just beyond me. It brings a tear to your eye. All right. Let's jump into it, ladies and gentlemen. It feels like it's a regular show again. Starting with Trump history, and now we're going to jump over to something we haven't done in a while, which is Swamp in Print. Breaking news from the New York Post. Pittsburgh Public Schools approve measure to instruct teachers on white supremacy in math classes. This is released on Halloween. It seems kind of appropriate. You may have heard the rumor, ladies and gentlemen, but yes, math is indeed racist. The Pittsburgh Public School Board has voted to hire a consulting group that educates teachers on how to replace white supremacy culture practices in math instruction with methods that center on the wellness of students of color. Because everybody knows, if there's a group of people who can't do math, well, it's people of color. And don't take my word for it. That's the experts. It's the experts. On October 25th, the board approved a measure to give Quetzal Education Consulting $50,000 to dismantle racism in math classes. As reported by the Center Square, the consulting group states that its workshops teach anti-racist math and will help equip teachers with tools to identify, disrupt, and replace practices that perpetuate white supremacy. And in case you're wondering, 2 plus 2 equals 4, that's the white supremacy they want to replace. Because do you really think any person of color is going to be able to figure this one out? Again, not me saying this. This is the experts. Ebony the director of public relations and media content for Pittsburgh Public Schools, confirmed to Fox News Digital that the board of directors of the school district of Pittsburgh authorized its officers to enter a contract with Quetzal. I'm perpetuating a lot of white supremacy while reading this article, aren't I? The move will provide the school with additional foundational knowledge of anti-racist math, pedagogy, and tangible learning experiences that can be implemented with students. Now, if you notice, how far are we into this article? Still haven't gotten really any explanation as to what this is, which is pretty typical. Pretty typical for stuff like this. It means someone's getting a fat paycheck and it's not you. The school board's agenda for the meeting confirms the purpose of the introductory workshops, which will confront, quote, oppressive practices in math instruction with practices that center the wellness of students of color, and to provide opportunities for math departments and math teachers to grow their anti-racist math praxis collaboratively in pedagogy and instruction. Oh, well, son of a bitch, that explains it. Now I get it. Anybody who has a far leftist view of the world, the neo-Marxist leftist view, they are allergic to speaking clearly and succinctly and communicating ideas so that you can understand them. That is the opposite of what they want to do 100% of the time. It was also confirmed that participants in the leadership workshop series will, quote, engage in an ongoing workshop series in the topic of Are they just going to, again, in their absolute terror of speaking clearly, they also just use the same sentences over and over again. How many times did we just hear in this article, engage in ongoing workshop series on the topic of anti-racist math leadership? The hell does that even mean? The purpose of the series, okay, here we go. This is it. Write it down. The purpose of this series is to equip educators who have completed the Anti-Racist Math Workshop Series Edition 1 to develop and lead towards a more cohesive, and aligned math instruction praxis, who is an alien from the planet Zorgon, across classrooms, departments, and schools. Participants will learn how to train others in the topic of anti-racist math, as well as how to identify issues of equity in math spaces, the school board tab added. All right, did you get all that? Because they can't state it any plainer than this. I mean, it says right there, the purpose of this series, and then we got all this. Really, it cannot be explained clearer than that. And if you don't get it by now, you're probably a white supremacist. At least I think that's what they're saying. God only knows. Several schools, organizations, and states have issued guidance and promoted teachers programs that seek to remove racism from math. It just keeps saying the same thing over and over again, which is this. How they're going to do this, what it means, math is even racist, I don't think we're ever going to get there. In 2021, the state of Oregon defended the Pathways to Equitable Math Instruction Teacher Training, which advises that a focus on finding the correct answer in class is an example of white supremacy infiltrating schools. You thought I was kidding, didn't you? At the beginning of this, when I said 2 plus 2 equals 4 is white supremacy? You wish I was kidding. The concept of mathematics, this is a quote. The concept of mathematics being purely objective is unequivocally false, and teaching it is even much less so. A document for the Equitable Math Toolkit reads, upholding the idea that there are always right and wrong answers perpetuate objectivity as well as fear of open conflict. Am I the only one that the more you hear quotes from these people, I would love anyone to explain to me how this isn't all of these equitable math courses and things, based off of what we're reading, I would love anyone who could explain to me how this is any different than the tactics of the I'm totally blanking on it. The alien believers. What the hell are they called again? The Scientologists. Does this not sound like some Scientologist mumbo jumbo? We go, here, I'm going to explain this to you as clearly as I can. And then they talk for 2 minutes and you've gained no new information. I guess there's aliens involved. So I don't know. This is the same thing. Listen, I'm going to explain to you the purpose of this course. They speak for 5 minutes and you go, huh? What? And just like Scientology, if you disagree with them, they will come after your family, your livelihood, and everyone you've ever met. You freaking racist white supremacist who knows 2 + 2 does in fact equal 4. What a wonderful world we live in, ladies and gentlemen. All right, what do you think? Is math racist? They made some compelling arguments. So I'll let you be the judge because, I mean, it's beyond my pay grade. Those are some very compelling arguments. Continuing on with the tomfoolery. Oh, no, wait. This is Friday. On with the show. Something that makes about just as much sense as what we just heard. I don't really know who this person is, but here is a blonde lady who's explaining to us banning weapons of war on the street isn't about infringing on you, it's about protecting you. This video has 2.9 million views, by the way. And I have a feeling she probably thinks that math is racist as well, based off of this short clip.
Imagine you're in a bowling alley with a handgun and a perpetrator walks in with a military-style weapon and a bulletproof vest. There's literally no way you're going to be able to defend yourself. Banning these weapons of war on the street isn't about infringing on you, it's about protecting you.
Well, see, no one's made the argument before that banning firearms would make you safer. This is a new argument. As far as I know, this is a completely brand new argument. I'm glad that she's bringing this to the forefront. A lot of things right off the bat. First of all, military-style weapon. You do not have a definition for that. You're just saying it because you've heard it. You have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Second of all, wasn't there just recently a shooting in, I don't know, Texas or something, where some scrawny little neo-lib white kid with a vest and an AR-15 walked into a food court and then was just laid the hell out by an absolute Chad who just happened to be carrying? Didn't that happen? I guess just across the board, someone needs to go tell a hell of a lot of people that have essentially whooped the ass of the U.S. military, who were basically just homeless guys with really nothing on them. Vietnam. The Taliban's feeling pretty great right now. I mean, they managed to take out guys with military weapons and bulletproof vests. But no, the argument is it's going to keep you safe, you guys. It's going to keep you safe. And it's compelling. Honestly, it is. Because, as I said, no one's ever made that argument before. But I got to say, whatever she's talking about, it might be more compelling if you approach it this way. It makes a lot more sense when you turn the sound off. Oh, now I get why you have 2.9 million views. Listen, you're a young, attractive girl. You don't need to be smart too. And actually, science would usually dictate that you are probably incapable of it. So that's just evolution, you know? You don't need to be smart too. So you just never developed the skill. It's trust the experts is really what we're saying here. But another argument, maybe a counter argument, and I think that I find this way more compelling. It has been said many, many times. It's not the gun's fault. Right? It's the person who has the gun. It's the person who raises the gun. If guns are raised to love in a loving home, nothing like this ever happens. I can tell you that for a fact.
All right, sweetie, open wide. Oh, did you make a mess? Here, let's get you some more. There you go. You want some more? Yeah, there you go. All right, sweetie, open wide.
You treat them right, you know, they come from a good home. You're not going to have this problem anyway. So you don't need to take the guns away. Just raise them better. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I think it's a far more compelling argument than whatever that blonde lady was talking about. Now, on to everyone's favorite thing, the whole reason you follow the channel, the whole reason you ever found me in the first place. Crazy people on TikTok and their mental disorders. I mean, that's why we're all here, right? We don't have to pretend otherwise. Here is somebody who says they are trans, masculine, non-binary. And if you can figure out that one, then you probably also think that math is white supremacy. Because I'm not sure how you can be trans, masculine, and non-binary. I'm not even really sure what that means. But then again, as I said, I don't think math is racist. So I'm not meant to figure this out. So a trans, masculine, non-binary individual has had an experience. All right. And it's pretty harrowing. And I think they handled it just superbly, as these people always do.
I have been in the hospital for days, and despite the fact that my name and my pronouns are all over in the chart, I keep getting misgendered left, right, and center.
First thing I need to say right off the bat, you are telling me a person who looks like this, their name and pronouns, they've been telling people them constantly? It's just all over the place? Well, I am shocked. Every now and then your worldview is shaken, and I never would have suspected that this well-adjusted young woman would be screaming about her pronouns to everyone who would listen. I need to just pack up the channel and go home. I think my whole worldview has just been destroyed.
And my pronouns are all over in the chart. I keep getting misgendered left, right, and center. I may be sick right now, but I'm feeling the petty starting to grow. So because apparently they can't seem to read my
this one, okay, sarcasm aside, this is a genuine question. She said that she feels the need to be petty. So wait, the whole preferred pronouns thing and getting upset about it is a petty thing that you're doing and you know it's petty? Well, young lady, if your dad had stuck around, he would have taught you that what you just said is stupid and to not do it. You don't need to ever be intentionally petty. Know that you're doing it for just such an absurd thing. I mean, I always thought that we were told constantly that this is really, really important. And if you don't get people's pronouns right, they'll kill themselves and it's your fault. Just like how when you didn't wear a mask during COVID, you were responsible for killing everyone's grandma. You misgender somebody, people will literally die. It's the trans genocide. If that's true, then how could it be petty for you to be concerned about that? So I'm sensing a contradiction here, and I'm not sure what to do with it because none of it makes sense anyway. This is what happens. Don't try to even compare themselves to themselves. There are no standards here. It's all nonsense.
Chart or anything like that. My partner's going to bring some coloring supplies, and I'm going to do a little experiment. I am going to tape my name.
And again, interesting observation. I've talked about this many times on this channel. What is it with the inability of these people to grow up? So they feel that something really bad has happened. They've been slighted in some way. Pronouns are gotten wrong. What's her go-to? I called my partner and he brought the craft supplies. This is like that amazing Black history education from last week where this is great AP learning about Black history. And they're playing with Play-Doh and cardboard. This is super duper important. Babe, bring the crayons. It's going down.
Name and my pronouns on the outside of the door and hope somebody notices. And if they bring it up, I'm going to flat out tell them. Because
wow, human communication. It's really heating up. If they get my pronouns wrong, I'm going to tell them. Damn, shit just got real, you guys. Shit just got real.
I'm tired of having to correct people and they don't even bother to apologize. Get it together, UW Health.
So, yeah, what do you think? Am I the one being unreasonable? Or does this just scream fatherless behavior on every level? No, I'm sure she's great. She's a hoot to have around. No one finds her incredibly annoying. So we know now human beings are fallible, okay? Even doctors can accidentally misgender people. Because they would never do that intentionally because it would result in the genocide of said trans masculine non-binary people, which is something that we don't want. Now, you would think as time progresses, progress, right? These things would get better. And eventually we would have systems in place like, I don't know, AI would be there to be an unbiased tool. Because human beings... Okay, so I look at that young woman and I say, where did your dad go? What happened? But a computer wouldn't say that. Computer is not judgmental. So here is another, I guess, trans femme non-binary person realizing that that's not the case and that Skynet is here and it is it's transphobic, actually, is what we've learned. Ugh, you gotta love it.
Filter keeps misgendering me. Look. No. No fucking way. No way. Okay, we're gonna try this. Hell Hell no. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Okay, let's try again. Walter keeps misgendering me. Look.
So, this person has learned when people misgender him, it's because you look like a man. Sure, effeminate, annoying, but still a man. There is nothing you can do, nothing that you can do that's going to fix this problem. And Skynet knows it too. So, eventually, the Skynet, we're going to have a crossover of all the fantasy robots and all these things, and Skynet is going to come around. Eventually, this person's going to be sitting in a pod hooked up to the Matrix, and they will be a woman. So maybe this person wants the takeover of artificial intelligence. I don't know. Moving on. Not only is math racist, which of course we've definitively established, no debate. I don't even mean to say, that was smoother transition than I thought. Now we're on to debate. Debate classes in high school really are just a place where, when you were in high school, you did it because you basically had no other choice. There were some of the weirdos that wanted to take debate in high school. I was involved in some of those, but that's because, well, you got to do something, I guess. There's now a new debate strategy, and it has proven 100% effective the one time it has been tried. Regardless of whatever the topic is that you're debating, bring up white people and transphobia, boom, instant winner. There's nothing trumps that. This is public high school, okay? So I don't even know what these people were supposed to be debating. Let's see what it says. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see what it was supposed to be. But anyway, doesn't matter. Totally irrelevant. Bring up race and transphobia and you win. If your kids are going to public school, you need to keep an eye on it because they could end up being this insufferable. And you never want to have to kick your own kid's ass. But if your kid did this, it might be warranted. And for the sake of YouTube, that was a joke. We do not advocate the beating of children on this channel, no matter how insufferable they are.
They have a white debater on their team, which inherently means they have more whiteness than us. We obviously know that JJ's not white. It's pretty obvious. Go down onto our pick. We give you 3 warrants why we subsume all of their protests and affirm their protests. In a pick, what it means is you are furthering their cause just minus the whiteness. As Rebecca is a vehicle for this movement, we say whiteness is really bad for representation in queer people, and it's a bad form of furthering this protest. The best way to further the protest is to vote for our pick and to affirm it, but minus the whiteness. They say that we're taking over JJ's labor, but first, this is a new response. If they read this response before.
Obviously, this queen is just out here slaying. I mean, totally slaying. Slay queen. I just want to bring up something, and I've said this before, and I've noticed this in other things. What is with the quick breathing in hiccup noise that the young generation makes now? What is that? Why can't they speak? Remember Harry Sisson does that? Harry Sissy, the Democrat guy, he does that too. What is that? Where did that come from? Can they not breathe? I don't understand. But yes, back to this greatly compelling argument.
Before we probably would have read a cap about how you can't use labor across identity lines. That's a really bad thing to do. Second, how picks work is you affirm their protest. We're not taking over their labor. It's just a technicality of debate. Then they say that it's trans exclusion. No. Couple responses that they dropped from Sanji. 1, our constructive speech was about personal experiences, about our identity. We are not comfortable discussing our sexuality on a live stream with 130 people. Second, we say that them telling us how we should represent our advocacy feeds into our link about racism because a white person, someone on a say we are not trans debaters. We don't want to do that. Also, they don't put anything about women of color or queer women of color in their case, which means they also link it to the exclusion. There's no independent offense off of this. Then at the bottom.
Wait, I'm sorry. What happened? I blacked out. Was it? What? Did she reach? Did she get to a point? I don't. What happened? Where are we? What day is it? Honestly, I'm at a loss for words. You know what, ma'am? You have won the debate because I don't even know what to say. Huh? What? What? Maybe there's context that I'm missing here. Well, if I can stay awake or if I can not black out, there is more. So maybe I'm just missing it. I think that debate is supposed to be like getting, communicating your point, but this is like reading the math is racist article. Where are we? What's happening? I'm getting no explanation.
All these stuff about the Louisville Project, their racist rhetoric and using the black labor as a way to further their advocacy is inherently racist as an independent reason to drop them. They say JJ wrote the argument, but no, Rebecca is a vehicle of the movement. You should never use a white person who's saying the Louisville Project and using it as an example of their advocacy in order to further a movement. Then using black suffering to advance in the tournament is just a bad thing to do. Then they say that it's just an example. A white person just shouldn't use a black person's suffering as an example of their advocacy. That's inherently a racist thing to do, and it's too late to respond to this argument in Final Focus, and it's the largest dropped argument. There's also another dropped argument that links it to racism about how they're telling us how to represent our advocacy.
That was highly compelling. Highly compelling. I wish I had a little bit more context for whatever the hell is going on here, but apparently they won. They won the debate. They were declared the official winners. And as far as what I was reading, they weren't even talking about what the subject of the debate was. So there you go. Watch your kids, ladies and gentlemen. See what they're learning in school. You need to pay attention to see if your kid's becoming this, or if your kid's smart enough, tell them this hack and they can instantly get out of any trouble at school ever. Say your kid isn't a woke, brain dead person. You say, okay, listen, son, anytime you start to get in trouble, just speak very quickly and say the word whiteness, racism, transphobia, and advocacy several times in quick succession, and you will be let off the hook. You will be declared the undisputed champion of whatever was going on. This is school, huh? Yeah, I'm not super stoked on it. Oh, man. Moving on. I came across this recently, and it brought me back. It was an instant feeling of nostalgia. I'm going to play this for you. It's only 2.5 minutes, but believe me, you're going to feel like it's a lot longer. But see if you know what I mean when I said that this gave me a feeling of nostalgia. So this is from 7 years ago, and here, watch this. One of these, it's like a woke PSA, and it's only 2.5 minutes. It's gonna seem like it's a lot longer, but we can do this. We can get through this together. going on down that alley. It's just beautiful. Do you feel it? Do you feel the love? Now, do you know what I mean? This made me feel extremely nostalgic because this is the kind of cringe stuff they were pushing when I was in school. I can completely imagine this already. You're in second period. Your teacher says at the beginning of class, we have a video today. And everyone's kind of like, oh, cool, great, a video. And they roll in the TV and this is what they play. And then afterwards, after it's over, you know, your teacher walks over and turns off the TV and it's like, so there was a lot going on there. Does anyone have anything, any thoughts about this? Did you get it? Because the words that we use and the labels that we stick to each other, you get it? You see, he had all those words on him. You're doing that to people. And I'm sure people are doing that to you too. And this kind of thing, you would think everyone would go, well, that's stupid. Unfortunately, that is not the case. The real reason I'm showing you guys this is so that we can have just an absolute blast looking at these god-awful comments. Dude. So any normal person would watch that and go, well, that was stupid. Apparently, it's not stupid, you guys. This deserves more views, so much more views. The thought, how it was executed, everything is perfect and beyond all. It has the essence that could be a turning point in someone's life. Really appreciate this piece. They spelled it peace, like be at peace of work. Oh yeah, this is groundbreaking material. Very powerful. Brought tears to my eyes of sadness and happiness. The labels we place on ourselves and often by others can be brutal. This video needs to be viewed by so many more people. Loved this so much. This is so powerful. Make more like this. Loved hearing this story. Much love. I smiled and felt him too when he got loved. This is intense and his poetry fills my soul. Powerful and so true for so many people. This is a great reminder not to label people based on our standards, insecurities, etc. Because everyone wants to be loved. A story can depict a lot without saying anything. This is what this one video did. A deep meaning story. And the smile on his face was the most precious one when he received the card written loved on it. We've been doomed for a long time, ladies and gentlemen. This video is 7 years old, and still people are commenting on it saying crap like this. Wow. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to play it again. God knows I didn't mean to do that. Still people are finding this and going, it's amazing. It's so deep. The poetry. 7 days ago, this made me cry. Well, Joanne Sharples 4336, you made me cry because you're an idiot. This is what virtue signaling used to be before it became all about the trannies. Before that, it was this kind of thing. You got people pretended like that when they saw something like this, they thought it was great. No. If you're one of those weird people, stay with me here. If you're one of those weird people that for some reason likes Christian music, Christian rock music, that's a whole different discussion. But if you are one of those weird people, this is what it's like to listen to Christian rock music. Do you see how unbelievably cringe and stupid it is? I don't know. Maybe I'm going too far off the rails on this one. There's going to be some people, I love Christian rock music. Well, you know, you're allowed to, but Jesus doesn't. So he doesn't like it either. So it's up to you. And everyone who made this movie, this clip, is not an artist. They're not deep. And actually, probably every single one of the labels on this guy's back, they probably deserve it. Purely just from making this video. There you go, buddy. There you go, buddy. I added about 16 different stickers to your labels that you carry. What's going on? I don't even know anymore. I don't know. Seriously, that watching that clip took me back to like middle school and early high school. They used to love showing us that crap. No labels, man. The good old days. The good old days. Moving on. If I was to put a label on this guy, it would be absolute Chad. Absolute Chad. This guy, here's a video of a guy. I just wanted to show you this. There's 2 different videos of it. But these stupid people, man, these stupid people go into these European countries, mess stuff up, screw it up for everybody, and most of the time, the people living there do nothing about it. This guy said, no more. No more.
There. We're going to have to call the fire brigade.
Other side.
You can't leave him up there. You're breaking the law leaving him up there. He's not breaking the law being up there.
So they defaced this monument, and finally, one man actually had the balls to say, you know what? Not cool. Not cool, bro. We let you into my country. Why are you doing this? Go back to Pakistan, you freaking... No, I won't say it. We'll keep the stream up. I don't want to get in too much trouble.
Hey!
What a nice man.
Get your shit off my statues.
Hell yeah.
Done. Well done, you absolute legend.
Get your shit off my statues. I should make a shirt that has that guy's face on it and just says that. I'm telling you, the people who have allowed this mass migration that's led to these types of things happening, the defacing of priceless history. When the guys that look like this dude right here, when they're done with it,
I hope it breaks.
you are screwed.
Good man.
This is the type of man who conquered the world under the British Empire. Don't piss him off. You've allowed the kindness, and you've taken the kindness and you've exploited it. Believe me, you don't want this type of guy to say enough is enough. This is kind of like uplifting, actually. I just wanted to show the clip because I thought it was cool. Get your shit off his statues. Go back to where you came from. Fantastic. Speaking of cleaning up your country, El Salvador has been doing a bang-up job of cleaning up their country. I don't know how I missed this. So in case you don't know, El Salvador has been just completely going crazy. Hey, stop playing. Has just been nailing it on getting rid of all the gangs, MS-13. They've basically just put it in a zero tolerance policy, and it's worked. They went from having like the second or the highest murder rate in the world to now being like in the lowest. So you can't argue with results. But putting people in prison, great. That's part of it. But you also need to clean things up, all right? As that Brit would say, get your shit off of my statue, all right? El Salvador's doing it right. They're doing it right.
It's the Day of the Dead, when cemeteries across Latin America swell and people pay respects to their loved ones in their final resting places. In El Salvador, inmates have been bussed in to smash the legacies of gang members in the stronghold of the Maro Salvatrucha gang.
This cemetery here in Santa Tecla had essentially been taken over by gang members and other people couldn't get close. So we've removed all the gang emblems. That's why we were here.
Their remains will be left intact, but any insignia or embellishments are wrecked to prevent tombs becoming shrines. It's the latest controversial tool in the belt of the government's war on gangs.
Honestly, you love to see it. You love to see it, man. This is what it takes. You can't there's no half measures. You rounded them up. Great. Put them in prison. Great. You can't let the culture fester. Now you go in and you say, get the all of it. It's all gone. And this is the kind of thing that our lefty friends who have allowed these mass migration incidences to happen across in the United States and across Europe, they know this. It's not an accident. It's the fact that there's that British guy is up there and he's tearing down the Palestinian flag and taking all of the signs off of his statue. They didn't just this isn't all just by accident. This is what you do. They're doing it. They're doing it very intentionally. Don't allow it. And then when you fix the problem, you go and remove all of their MS-13 shit. That's how you do it, man. The left gets it. Everybody else, the neo-Marxists get it. Everyone else needs to start getting it. You need to start getting with the program here. You think Robert E. Lee is going to be the first, or is going to be the only statue that gets pulled and melted down? I don't think so. You need to wake up, ladies and gentlemen. All right, yeah. What are we talking about? I hope you're enjoying the show. We're getting to we're about to get to the weekend pregame, where we lighten up the mood a little bit, look at some funny stuff. Make sure you've liked the stream if you have not. Make sure you are subscribed, of course. Check out the new merch. Telling you, this poster is where it's at. And actually, that was a perfect segue from what I was talking about to the Meme Wars 2 Jan 6 Boogaloo. Of course, if you like the content, yeah, check out the merch, donate to the PayPal, send in the super chats, all that good stuff. Let's see, what time do we have here? We're just under an hour. All right, we'll do one. We'll go over one more clip before we hit the weekend pregame. I don't know if you're aware of this. All right. Super chat. Thank you, Catherine, very much. One of the, I think, Catherine, you got to be the top frequent donator, and I appreciate that. Super chat jukebox.
We'll stuff selves in a crap we don't even notice, and itself rising up against us.
Man, it seems like the super chat jukebox quite often comes in with like the perfect thing to summarize what I was just saying. Take up my whole rant about that British guy, the destroying of the MS-13 tombstones. And you need to wake up. There you go. Alex Jones sums it up. We're such self-centered crap, we don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Wake up! Thank you, Alex Jones, and thank you, Catherine. All right. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there is a group of black people out there. I mean, I know you're aware of that there are black people out there. But there's a group of black people out there who seem to think that anything good in history, any good person in history was actually black, and anyone who was bad in history was actually white. You may be familiar with the term "we was Kangs." That's where this comes from. But whenever you actually see one of these people in real life, it's quite remarkable. Here, it speaks for itself.
Of historical figures, prominent figures from history, and you'll tell me whether or not they were white or black?
Shoot, give me your best shot.
Where did we start? Okay, Beethoven.
Black.
Mozart.
Black.
Cleopatra.
She looked black, but she was white.
She looked black, but
listen,
she was
you're not
white?
answering my question. It's not the color of your skin that you're being judged by, but the seed of your father.
William Shakespeare.
Undoubtedly black, without question.
Abraham Lincoln.
That's still in debate.
How do you mean? You don't know if he's black or white?
We're not saying that he was black. It's a possibility.
Christopher Columbus.
He was white.
Henry VIII.
Black. There's people that you swear are white today that are black. For example, a famous singer looks like a white man.
No, not that.
Dances like a black man. Sings like a black man. But he looks like a white man. But he's a black man.
Who?
Tom Jones.
That's a good spot to cut that clip since it's about to... I forgot it was BBC, and you can't play anything from the BBC because they're such little weenies that they copyright claim everything and have your stream taken down immediately. And I just got a warning that it was about to happen. Completely forgot about that. I honestly don't know what I would do if I ever came across a black man like this who had long fingernails like that, and he's trying to convince me that Henry VIII was black. Or that Tom Jones is black. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he is black. Maybe everything I've seen is wrong. And what a weird one to pick. Tom Jones. When was this filmed? What decade is this? Are there many Tom Jones fans running around still? Clearly, this is some black Hebrew Israelites or something, since they got their, all their Jewish stuff on. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Was everyone in history black except for Christopher Columbus? I'm inclined to think not. Yeah, it would have made more sense, actually, if he tried to say Elvis, but it just definitely doesn't make any... The whole thing doesn't make any sense. But mainly, the main reason I'm skeptical here, and there's really no easy way to say this, if any of this is true, that basically the greatest people in history were black, what the hell is going on in Africa? What's going on over there, my dude? I don't know how else to ask this question. Okay, if all of the greatest people in history were black, what's going on in the homeland, brother? What? And apparently even some of the colonizers were actually black, because I mean, if he's going to go through famous, British people, and some of them were black, then I mean, they're also responsible. So he can't even throw it off on white people to say that the white people screwed up Africa or something. All I'm saying is it raises more questions than answers. But I do think it's hilarious that he said Cleopatra looked black, but was actually white. Because if you think about this for a second, this just completely screws over Netflix. Even this guy, who thinks every person in history was actually black, doesn't think Cleopatra was black, and Netflix just put out a special where Cleopatra is black. Even this guy isn't buying the race swaps from Netflix. And he thinks Abraham Lincoln could be black. So, really what we've learned here is, who is the target audience from Netflix for doing these race swap specials? If it's not this guy who thinks Shakespeare was black, who is it? I don't know. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out. We are moving on to the end of the show, the weekend pregame. Some funny stuff here, just some wholesome content, some good times, some good laughs. Honestly, I have no idea what to even say about this, but it felt right for the weekend pregame because I didn't know where else to put it. I don't know, just enjoy, I guess. Just picking on the porch with some friends, I hope that's what your weekend looks like, actually. That's the weekend pregame, giving you a preview of your weekend. And lastly, did you know that there are people out there who work for like these big, different big food, or like breweries, ice cream places, or ice cream companies, things like that. They have tasters, right? And a lot of these guys, they've got, that's what you hear about, like the wild things about how like this man's taste buds are insured for $1 million, and it's like the guy who tastes ice cream. No, just me. Well, I've heard of these things. Here is a totally bizarre clip that makes me believe, and it's hilarious and wholesome at the same time, that this guy knows that this is kind of BS, and he's really lucked into his dream job where he just sits around eating ice cream with a tiny spoon all day. And it's just the greatest thing ever. So here is an ice cream taster whose taste buds are allegedly insured for $1 million. The dude just eats ice cream. I don't... The man is living the dream.
So in tasting, what we do is take a small amount right off the top. It doesn't take much. That's the warmest part right here. I'm going to invert the spoon. Cover all 9,000 taste buds. Aerate it. Warm it up. Driving up that top note, that cream, pure vanilla, sweeteners. That's a 10. So in
that's a 10. Right at the end.
That's a 10.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. That is a 10. And I hope your weekend is a 10. My name is Swamp. Make sure you've liked the stream. Hope you had a good time. Check out the Christmas merch. Stay wicked, my friends, and I'll see you all next time.